It's a pleasure to have you guys. You can introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Poopedi. Mema Poopedi, that's how people refer me. It is a pleasure being with you here today, Ricky. Finally, we get to see each other. Yeah.
And I'm Tate Poopedi, the husband to my beautiful wife, Sizagele. All the glory to the living God.
We started in 2014 in Everton, and then when we moved to Robertson, subsequently when the branch at Robertson was opened, and then 2014 November the Pretoria branch was opened after a men's conference in Kosomadoda, and then we left Robertson to assist in setting up the branch in Pretoria. Then we were with Rivers of Living Waters cult from 2014 to 2019 February. Yes, and I served in the committee as a Pretoria, and after the year of serving, then moved into a fundraising committee, the entire Rivers of Living Waters Ministries International Fundraising Committee. So I was responsible for the fundraising in the cult.
And Poopedi?
Like my wife has already mentioned, I was mostly working close to the bishop at the Pretoria branch as an overall senior. By that I mean, he used to use the term which is in Soto which says Uliburla Plaza, meaning you take care of everything around here, whether it's about making sure that when he comes to the church on each and every Sunday, or whenever there's a need for him to be at the branch, everything is in order. When you talk about spiritual things, I was involved. When you talk about assisting my wife and others, making sure there's funds for this and that, I was involved. I was more of an overall, not only in Pretoria branch and other branches, I was assisting as and when it's necessary.
Okay. And at what point did you feel your relationship was very close? What happened? Maybe an event?
Okay, in 2020, it started getting strained in 2016, moving to 2017. 2017, my husband started questioning a lot of things and having issues with how things were running. And because of the relationship that we had with then Bishop Zondo, then I would relay those concerns. And in 2017, where we thought the Church of God was under attack, spiritual attack from the Dark Kingdom, we had a meeting with the pastors and certain prayer warriors to talk about what was happening, where the church was under the dark cloud. So from there, we realized that certain doctrines and certain things that were taught were questionable. But at the time, we still wanted to believe that Zondo was pure, and then there was an attack on the church, only to find that actually he is the one that is steering the church into darkness. So the relationship became strained, and then that is where now he started saying my husband is a demon, what he's saying, what he's seeing is not true. And I couldn't understand that. I was in church because personally I was not into church at all, and my husband was the person who was a church goer, and who got me involved, like got me going at Rivers of Living Waters. So now to be told, Guti, my husband is not believable, and I should manage him, what he says, he's demonic, I couldn't understand and didn't even agree with him. It got to the point where he even told me to divorce my husband because of safety reasons. That is where it, like, all hell broke loose, because I could not understand why couldn't he like come to terms with the fact that, okay, fine, he may be seeing things that maybe are not true about the bishop, so let's resolve it. But he said there is no way he can come and help us.
Did he say it directly, like to say?
Yes, I still have the message where he said this, all his concerns and all that, and calls for a divorce. And I said, no,
it's not happening.
It's not happening. Then he started like trying to break us, come between us. And when even in church, he would say he gets along very fine with Mr. Poopedi, my husband, and I'm the one who's like a bully and always taking him on, even if he can say something. And I've said it in some of the interviews where I said he belittles men. And when in so doing, he wants you, the woman, to take an upper hand and be controlling in your household. And with my work at church, it became so much so that I needed to choose whether I'm serving as a wife in the home or I'm serving the bishop. So my husband had a problem with that. And that's he was not happy. I needed to choose the bishop according to Zondo, and that was not happening in my household.
Did he detect your resistance towards his decisions?
Yes, the last straw came when we were on holiday, and he kept on phoning to say I need to come back and do a presentation to the financial partners of the church. And I said, no, I'm away on holiday. But he said, no, I need you back. I said, no, I can't do that. And he says, no, the church will pay for my flight back from Cape Town. I said, no, I'm with my husband. I'm not coming back. And he said, leave your husband. I said, no. And then in so saying, he said he has never been disrespected that way. And
By the pastor?
By a person in church, to say
in general.
So he needed me to leave my husband behind and say I'm going back because the bishop needs me. And I was like, no, it's not happening. So he is used to getting his way, and it's his way or the highway. So if you don't follow what he tells you, he sidelines you.
But Poopedi, how did that come off? The being told or hearing that your wife is getting an opposite message?
Let me start by explaining, but first, explaining this thing. He's no bishop to me. He's no man of God. I normally tell whoever I come across, he's the devil himself. I say it without mincing my words. If I'm pressing someone's cons ganjalo, sorry, but that's what he is. He doesn't deserve the title of a bishop. If you go to the book of Timothy, go through it from A to Z, you'll understand who a leader of a church, who a father, who a pastor or a bishop is. He doesn't resemble anything like that. Now, I feel, and I felt before, that he belittles men, as my wife says, and udelela more than the way to delela. Utatela bantu phansi kakhulu. What he did, or what he's doing even currently, he will be closer to females. Abafundis babo ma, wives, daughters, and all that, more than he is to men. He owns, I've said it before, he'll own your wife, your daughter, your sister, whoever, mind, body, and soul. He'll call your wife and whoever. He used to do it with us. He'll call my wife anytime he wishes, he wants to. And I used to question that because we were close. I would at times go to him and tell him that I don't like XYZ. But he has a way of manipulating to say, you see, the devil is making us clash. God wants us to work like this and that. Be careful. Don't allow the devil to do that. But on the other side, he will tell my wife that I'm a demon. She must be careful of me because I'm going to kill her, apparently, according to him. Then that thing caused a lot of problems within my family. There was a time where I was telling my wife to say, you have to choose between whether you are a wife, my wife, or you are working for Zondo, or you are Zondo's wife. I said, if it comes to a push, I'm releasing you. Go and stay at Zondo's place. Because most of the time, it was all about church. Yes, I have to be honest, even with us, it's not only women. Those who know Poopedi will tell you that I used to be, any time I get a moment of business, I will be at church. I will be serving, making sure that everything is up to scratch at church. But it was because we are under a spell, under a cult. People need to understand. Some people will say to you, Ricky, you know, you guys deserve it. I'm one of those who will simply openly tell you that I didn't go to Rivers of Living Waters cult and I was Southern Zondo for money. When we went to the church, we were fine financially. We left that church with nothing because that church works with taking everything that a person has got. Whether it's spiritual gifts, whether it's money, whether it's whatever marriage, it destroys everything. That is what he uses to make sure that the covenant is in. Lendo esebenzelayo iyaqhubeka imkhulise.